Hello and welcome to today's blog. Today I want to talk to you about forgiveness. Now this is a hard one for a lot of people, including myself, but it's something that can really shift your emotions, shift situations, shift your realities, shift what's happening in your life by a magnitude of 1,000. So it's really important we discuss this, and I'd really like to share my understanding of forgiveness and how it can be potentially applied to your life in your situations of the past that's happened, and things that you continue to blame yourself for or think about that's not serving you. So I believe the first step in forgiveness is to forgive yourself, because how can you give out something to other people if you can't do it within your own mind and within your own body and within your own cells? So number one is to forgive yourself for whatever's happened, whatever situation might have transpired, whatever you've done, whatever someone else has done to you that you keep blaming yourself for triggering that. Forgive yourself. Just be able to accept what's happened. So that's number one. The second step is really look at the situation as if it's something that's just an event. Aim to be an observer of the event. Take yourself out of the picture and look at it from that perspective, and ask yourself a few questions. Ask yourself things like, what have I learned from this experience? Don't think of it as you partaking in it. What has that character, that was you, done that has learned from that situation? This gives you immense power, because you take yourself out of the picture and you can see objectively what are the lessons you've learned. And the second question is, what's going to happen if you keep doing it, or if you're still doing whatever's transpired? What are the consequences of that, and how is that serving you? Is it serving you, and is it something that you can look at removing from your life? If it's a habit, there are ways you can let go of habits, and if it's definitely not serving you, it's something you need to do. The next step is to forgive the people involved in that situation of whatever's happened. Whatever you're holding on to, you need to let go of that. Otherwise, once you've forgiven yourself, this step becomes a lot easier, because you can see objectively, hey, look, they were reacting, or they were acting from their ego. You can let go of what's happened from that perspective as well. So some of the ways that I've utilised to let go of things when I found it difficult is to understand that this is a practice. Forgiveness is a practice. It's not a one-off event and you forgive someone and that's it. It's a continual thing, because they might continually come into your life, so you need to be able to continually show that forgiveness. I'm not saying be overly nice to them, just not to hold that grudge. So that's number one. It's a practice. Write it down. One effective technique is to write it down from your heart, and then take that piece of paper and somewhere safe burn it, so you're not causing any fire issues to the environment. Somewhere, maybe in a can that's contained, just burn that letter. And essentially, through this process, you're letting go of that situation, and you're letting it go to the universe for it to be transmuted into love, or whatever positives you can think of. Write them a letter, write them an email. I would suggest you write a handwritten letter and send it to them if you think you're up to that, and if that's appropriate. Say it out loud. I forgive this person. This is something you can do for yourself as well. When you're forgiving yourself, I forgive myself for having done this, or I forgive this person for doing this. And the last thing you can do, and it's probably the most effective, but it takes it's a path to get there, is to tell Tell them out loud. Tell them in a, find a setting that's appropriate and tell them that you forgive them. When you're doing all this, one important fact to keep in mind is to keep your integrity and to own your own energy. That is to say, when you're forgiving this person, this is not an invitation for them to rule your life or to give them any power as such. It's letting go of the past. So it is definitely not an invitation for them to come on board and tell you what to do and so forth, because you've forgiven them and give them a bit of a power trip. If they do that, well, that's their own learning. You need to draw your boundaries, tell them what you've forgiven them for, and to continue your life and move forward positively. Secondly, don't avoid aiming to control the situation. You might go and tell someone you forgive them and you expect a certain outcome. That is not the way to do it. You let it go without expecting anything in return. They may never ever forgive you for what's happened, or they may never talk to you, but you've let it go. That's the whole point. And once they realize that you're being sincere and honest and open, they may come around, they may not, but that is not for you to control. What you can do is to let go of it wholeheartedly and freely into the universe, this energy that's been blocking you and the situation. But 9 times out of 10, if you do it effectively, this will reconcile whatever's happened and restore relationships and situations. And people you haven't talked to for 10 years may open up because of this energy that you're releasing, this negative energy. And the next thing is you can create a new relationship. It doesn't have to be the same relationship. It can be something better. It can be something more powerful, something more joyous, something more enlightening, something more where you're both fully aware in that relationship or that situation. So it's better. It can be something much brighter than it was. Understand that what's happened has happened. It's a moment in the past. It's not now. So that's another thing you need to keep aware of. Your mind has this concept called the pain body, and it's essentially the ego, which needs pain to survive and live. The pain body dwells in the past and in the future. So if you keep feeding the pain body with all the guilt and the anger and not forgive, it dominates you. It essentially rules your life. So the pain body cannot exist in the present moment. That's the when you become aware of this moment right now, it cannot live, it cannot survive. It will subside, and it can aim to come back at a later stage where you're more vulnerable, like when you're angry or when you're intoxicated, when you're sad, when you're unhappy. It will resurface and aim to dominate your experience. So these are some of the concepts that Eckhart Tolle goes into, which I thought I'd put into this blog about forgiveness. The only way to really escape that pain body experience is complete acceptance, for you to take responsibility for that situation that's happened, irrespective of what your mind may say. So to completely accept and take responsibility, and present moment awareness. Now I'd like to quickly touch on meditation. Now meditation is a doorway to present moment awareness. It is not the outcome. The outcome is to just be aware of this present moment. A lot of times we do meditation for the sake of meditation, but it's a great tool to go beyond forgiveness and in the path of forgiveness. It's a great tool as well, because you become aware of the present moment, you let go of the pain body, and you're able to function and forgive people, understand what's going on, be aware of what's happened. So I hope that's been the tools I've mentioned are helpful, and just understand that forgiveness starts with you. forgive the other people involved in the situation, take complete responsibility for what's happened, use the tools that Eckhart Tolle mentions, understand the concepts of the pain body and present moment awareness, and that meditation is essentially a doorway to being and present moment awareness. It is not the outcome. The outcome is to be present, to be aware, and to live your life in this moment.